Yo, yo, what is up, everybody? We are back. I am Ryan from No Border Sports. I've got Beto with 49ers Sickness. We got Bashar, 49er Minded, and we got Aaron, my man, from 49ers First Takes. What is up, everybody?
What's up, man?
Not
Got
much.
you the only man? You're like, we got Beto, we got Bashar, we got my man. I'm like, what am I then?
You're Beto.
Chop liver.
You're
Chop
Beto.
liver. That's all right. It's all
I
right.
clearly stated you were Beto.
Because I'm the Mexican one.
Yeah, but you're like, no, well, yeah, but no, I don't.
Not because of.
Not because
Not
you're Mexican,
because
but you are.
of.
I mean, you are. I'm the mixed breed, so that's okay.
Yeah, he's a mixed breed just like me.
Yeah, I'm a halfie.
I've got Irish and Sicilian.
Oh,
Welsh,
my goodness. Wow.
Scottish.
That's a combination. Oh,
Irish.
I got
Scottish.
an Iraqi brother from another mother. Makes pizza better than Italian people do. What's up with that?
Right?
You learn from the best.
Oh, you were Domino's Pizza, huh?
Nah,
No,
I learned
Domino's
from
is
watching
way better than-
Italians make New York style pizza on YouTube. So go figure. I don't know.
Oh, there's a guy, I can't remember his name, but he makes this tomato sauce. He's like, the sauce. The sauce. He's like, you see this tomato right here? This is a good tomato. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to listen to him talk about making the sauce, or just even like crushing the tomatoes and getting the puree from, like, just listen to him to do that is just fun.
Sauce is no joke, man. You got to get it right. Some people make it acidic. Some people make it sweet. My nana made it sweet. My mom makes it pretty acidic. So, but I like my mom's more than my nona's.
I don't like sweet and I don't like acidic.
Mine's kind of in between.
See, that's probably what I'm going with. I like bold and savory. I'm not.
Well,
like
she makes a
acidic or sweet.
marinara off to the side that she'll mix that has like a lot more garlic in it. That is like she'll add it into her sauce, so it gives a little bit of like it's like zesty. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, this has got a nice little garlic kick.
I probably just want a jar of that. Like, you guys have that other stuff, that watered down stuff. I want the garlic and tomato. You know, like the two ingredients.
And it is more tomatoey. It's not smooth. It's a little bit like a little chunky. It's almost like a salsa, you know. But anyways,
Welcome to the Food Network. Hey.
Right?
Four fat guys talking about food. Woohoo!
Hey, who knows best but us, man?
Never trust a skinny chef. Never trust a skinny content creator.
Like Shakira said, my hips don't lie.
Yeah, well, my gut doesn't lie, so.
My breasts aren't small and humble, though.
Mine were small. Bigger than Shakira's.
I guess it's better that we just goof off until 49er fans actually show up. Bebop's here. What's up, Bebop?
What up, Bebop?
Bebop.
Sure. Or we could get into the first question. 49ers structured CNC's contract, and it sounds like right now they are restructuring another contract.
I know where you're going with this. And
who do you think? Now, to me, I obviously think, it's Yannick. Okay, you guys can either agree or disagree with that. But
I agree.
If you got almost 10 mil on the books right now, and you're restructuring another guy, probably upwards $8 to $10 million, that's enough for two people. Or move, or you could move Trey and you could move Kinlaw and have Yannick. So what's your thoughts of going forth, or how they utilize this restructured money? Let's say it's 18 million. Let's call it 18 million. Because I believe if they restructure Eric Armstead, Jason Hurley told me they could free up another 8 million. What up, Throwback?
I was
Love to have you
actually
in here.
hoping you
Throwback?
asked this question on the stream. Is just that I want it to be Yannick. I know Roscoe's already had like a jersey like swap already ready to go. I told him, like, don't do that, man. Don't tease, because he's going to go. He's going to end up going to like the Chiefs or somebody else who doesn't really need him and stuff. But yeah, that would be ideal, right? A pass rusher extraordinaire to come in and because you have a lot of unproven guys, including the guys we're going to talk about in the draft that are not proven. There are a lot of bodies that are like potentially pretty good that can come off the edge. But I want a solid guy. Hell, it doesn't have to be Yannick. I would go for Frank Clark, even though he's kind of a jerk.
No, don't say that bad word.
I'm a Frank Clark kind of guy. You need to have an a-hole on your team, man. You have too many choir boys on this team.
I just like his
but you don't want an a-hole on
Frank.
off bad character.
He's a
I don't want
choir boy.
Yeah. My grandpa was a Frank, so any person named Frank, I immediately like, oh, all right, you're kind of cool.
Well, we had Frank Gore.
My brother's name is Frank, and I can't stand him.
We had the best Frank of them all. What up, Jess?
What's up,
Jess from East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Make sure you check them out.
Someone, maybe Lloyd.
Lloyd,
a possibility, but they're definitely bringing up. Somebody told me earlier, they're not. They had to restructure CMCs. They didn't do it because they need to bring somebody in. Or they did it because they want to save money so that in the middle of the season somebody gets hurt, they can have enough money to be able to handle that cap hit. I'm like, if that was the case, they could have did that later. They didn't have to do it right away. The fact that they're doing it right now is because there's no reason other than trying to go for a free agent. There's no reason for them to do any type of restructures anymore.
Especially right now.
Exactly.
Because this is the start of the second free agent push. So I believe I've heard from two different sources, or today, if you sign somebody, they don't count against your compensation.
As of tomorrow.
As of tomorrow. That's what I heard. I've heard both, but I just wanted to put them out there. Jason Hurley, the 49ers cap guy, told me tomorrow. Yeah. So we might see big news tomorrow. So
who's your source?
Huh?
Who's your source?
What do you mean, who's my source?
I'm just playing with you, bro. Because you mentioned sources. You said sources.
Yeah. Like, who was it?
What's up, David McNiner?
I can't even remember who I heard saying something about.
That's all good. Hey, if we got Yannick, that would be nice. Somebody was telling me that, we don't need any more edges or D linemen because we're stacked at that position. And this guy's biased because he always wants us to get a high profile, big name wide receiver. But Yannick opposite Bosa would be beautiful. We got obviously, we got young guys that can learn from him. That would be great. They can learn from Bosa and Yannick, two different guys, and obviously Kosaric in the mix. So I totally welcome it. Now, part of me makes me think that with
we got the cult family in here. We got Tony and Brian.
They're here. Yeah. Part of me makes me think that the restructures. I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe like, hey, Brock Purdy, we're gonna give you an extension, but we're still not sure what we have in the guy with the injury.
That's totally not even. Yeah, that's totally not a thing yet. We've got him for another 2 years at least. Yeah. Like that would be jumping the gun.
I think they learned from their mistake.
Unless they were scared of him coming back and becoming an MVP, which I don't see happening. Then. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, think about it. If you're like, God, he could come back and be an MVP, might as well extend him now, give him a bag that he's like, yeah, I like that bag, but it's not the $50 million a year you're gonna have to spend on. You know what I mean? Like, if he gets to that MVP status, which, like I said, I don't think it's gonna happen. Especially like next year.
You know what I mean? He only played 8 games, bro. They want to see more.
Right. They should want to see
Jimmy
more.
Garoppolo situation.
Agreed. Yeah, don't blow your freaking wad after 5 games, dude. We've learned.
And I like Brock Purdy.
I got to say what's up to this guy. I've never seen you in the chat. Thank you for coming in. He says
thumbnail.
He says Beal Jr. has the speed, strength, can hold the line. Wouldn't be a surprise seeing him make the 53. Oh no, I totally expect him to make the 50. Yep, me too. I think so.
I have a question. Who is this guy?
The guy from Georgia? Oh my goodness.
No, this guy. No.
Oh my goodness.
Mariah.
This guy's a beast. What's up,
Mariah?
The only reason why he didn't play a lot at Georgia is because you had some dogs in front of him. But this guy's a pure pass rusher. You don't want him. You don't want him as a linebacker where he has to go back and cover. But if you just use him and utilize him just as a D end, go after the quarterback. This guy's a monster. He has 7-foot arms, and the guy can bench 40. He did 40 reps.
Yeah, he's sneaky. He's sneaky quick off the edge. He runs a sub 4.5. So
let's just get into this. Who's
Yeah,
your
I
favorite
got some
player of the draft?
Favorite player.
The kicker.
D Winters, linebacker from
Ooh, D.
TCU.
Winters is a
Oh,
good one.
but now
Jake
you like the
Moody's-
Winters, huh, Beto?
Jake Moody's
I've
a
been
good
watching
one.
tape on him.
Yeah, Moody's my guy because they had the balls to do it because essentially what they had was a 4th round pick. That's the round. That's the magic round for kickers and punters, right? They essentially had the first pick in the 4th round, essentially. So everyone's like, I can't believe they picked him in the 3rd round. Well, it essentially was a 4th round pick. So
Correct.
And,
if we
the,
did-
and the Patriots ended up picking a kicker not
And
too
they moved
soon.
up 8 spots to get him, and there were 13 spots after us.
Yeah. Everyone was mocking him, not mocking him, mock drafting him to be a 49er. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, I hope we get him." And then when we got him, everyone was mad. I'm like,
They were mad.
don't-
They were mad that we got him. They were mad where we got him.
Yeah,
My
but
thing,
it is
DeJuan
what it
Jones was
is.
available though. That was my whole argument. A tackle
There's-
who was not supposed to be available when we picked.
There was a lot of people there that 49ers could have picked and probably made a great, player out of. But when it comes down to it, we're talking about getting the kicker of our future who's accurate and he's got a long leg. You know what I mean? To me, I think it was worth it. Bryant Culp and I were, I don't know, probably a month ago, Bryant, weren't we? Maybe even 2 months ago. We were talking about, he said picking a kicker at 99. We brought that up, like specifically at 99, because there's that gap in between. Somebody could come up and take them. Right. And
They can trade up with the Raiders.
Right. And Bryant and I both said, you know what? I don't necessarily like to see them using the 99th pick on him, but if you're going to get a kicker, in the 3rd round, be a day 1 starter, I really don't care because it's a day 1 starter. You know what I mean? Like how many 3rd round picks can you say I know will be a day 1 starter?
Yep.
There's not a lot. And 3rd round, 4th round, however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You're talking about 3rd round draft pick, be a day 1 starter. You made all
next
the
10
money you
years.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 100% behind the pick when it happened. My brother was watching the draft in his room, and I'm like, Jared, we literally just got the best kicker in the draft. I said, and I told him, I was like, watch 49er fans complain. Literally went on Twitter, and it was just like, hate, like the player haters ball, hate.
Well,
That's
Those
all
are
there's
just
in it.
emotional fans
Now,
that don't
people
know.
also
Rudy
had
gets so upset.
expectations of getting a tackle. And when there was no even glimpse of that, I mean, I can understand it. You're
But
going
They
in-
said it in their
tackle to be
post-draft
taken.
presser. They said in their post-draft presser that there were certain times where they could have, but they didn't see anybody on the board that fit what they do. That's exactly what they said. That fits with what particular type of offense that they run.
There was
There-
guys there.
Who
There's
is-
guys there.
Who in the 3rd or 4th
Not
round
good
or 5th
enough.
round? Who's going to beat out McKivitz in the 4th?
DeJuan Jones would have given
DeJuan
Kivitz a strong
Jones
run
is
for
the
his money.
worst of all of them. Sorry.
It's-
How was he
I
the
read
worst?
on him.
Hey.
He's fat, lazy. He's overweight. He's like a Trent. Remember Trent Brown when he came in? He's a
But
straight up Trent Brown, bro.
Trent Brown won a Super Bowl with blocking when he went to the Patriots, though.
That
And everybody
team won a
kept saying
Super
the
Bowl.
49ers, he looked so good when he was on
He
the
was
Patriots.
the worst, bro. I'm sorry.
Look, whether
Out of all the
he's
offensive linemen.
whether a right tackle's here to beat out Trent or Colton McKivitz or to replace Trent Williams, I think it would have probably been good that they went tackle somewhere in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, not necessarily to replace McKivitz, but if you're talking about you could get a good tackle, like everybody's talking Blake Freeland, right? And he went shortly after all our picks.
Wait.
got your
Break friendly. If you don't like McClinchy, you're not gonna like this guy. This guy's skinny and tall, just like McClinchy.
That doesn't mean that he can't change his, and
McClinchy
bulk up a little
couldn't.
bit more. He didn't want to.
I
I'm
think
guessing.
the Niners, they're looking at this coming year's next draft. They're going to have a 1st round pick. I almost can guarantee you we're going to address offensive tackle in 2024.
They gotta tackle a undrafted free agent and
We did.
Joey
Fisher.
And they
Right.
said
Joey
the
Fisher.
NFL had him as a 4th to 5th round pick.
Kuiper had him in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possible 3rd round talent. So if you want,
He
if
runs
you
a
want me to elaborate, or-
4.940.
He had 40 bench press
He
reps.
just has little hands.
Oh,
little arms.
4.940 for an offensive lineman?
Yes,
That's pretty-
6'4", 300 pounds.
That's a pretty fast 40 for a guy
40
who's
bench
6'.
press
And
reps.
he's
Jeez.
throwing people. and he's nasty too. So when he
he's the
tosses
one that does
somebody
the
on the
40,
ground,
the 40.
he's
He's
gonna
the one who
come.
had the 40 time.
He's gonna
Yeah,
come and
40
put his shoulder into you as you're on the ground. He's
just
like
has
So he
short
likes to
arms.
finish.
He
He
has
likes to
to-
finish plays.
finishes.
He has to work on
hard.
technique, so he's used to manhandling and overpowering weaker competition. But at the NFL level, he's got to manifest some technique. So hopefully they can teach him that, and he can absorb it.
Yep.
So I got my eye on him because we didn't draft a tackle, and this
That's
guy
right,
probably could
Brian.
have been drafted. So
What about bringing
Now-
in a guy like
well-
Taylor Lewin on a very cheap deal, considering he's injury prone?
No, we've already talked about. They've already talked about that on the
Hey.
Bussin' with the Boys.
let's talk about Jair Brown, though. That's a pretty good pick, right? I mean, so I know you guys, Beto was really happy when we got him, and
I think a lot
Well,
of
I was-
49er fans who were following the. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask since D Winters was Beto's favorite and Jake Moody was yours. What's yours favorite, Bashar? Before we kind of get into things.
Oh yeah, the pick. Well, the pick, as far as my live reaction, the pick I was most excited for was D Winters because I was doing, I did a lot of mock draft shows, and on one of them, my friend Joey Mahoney was in the chat, and on one of them, he was pounding the table in the chat for me to get D Winters in the 7th round. But keep in mind, when I do my mock drafts, I have multiple tabs open, so I didn't see his comment. And then after the show, I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, how come you didn't get with D Winters?" I didn't know who he was, and I didn't even see your comment. So I actually went and watched his videos. I was like, "Oh, damn! Now I know why you like him." And then so when I had Celts on, we had picked up D Winters, and I had to clue Celts on him because it was like the last pick of the draft that I helped Celts pick that guy. And we watched his film on my channel live to show everybody who he was. And I was really excited when we got him. I was like, well, if the 49ers like this guy, I'm more pumped up because I knew he was a 49ers style linebacker, former strong safety, just so explosive. And he had a really, they said that he has problems shedding off blockers and all, but one of his best games was against Michigan, who has a top offensive line in college. And I'm really excited about this guy.
He has to work on his tackling, but
Oh yeah,
other
he
than
does.
that-
Yeah, kind of
I started
Alexander
watching tape
kind
on
of.
him.
Well,
I
when
like-
you get guys that late, you're willing to take chances on guys when you draft late that have some holes in their game.
Well, he reminds
because-
me of Greenlaw.
That's what that's what a lot of them are saying is they
He's
say
a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah,
He's a
he
heat-seeking
is.
missile. He's got the
Same height, everything.
He's got like the he's intuitive like Hafunga. You know,
And
I
he gets
really
pick
think
sixes.
Could you see him as a guy that comes in on base downs to replace Azeez Al-Shaair, or do you think that's going to be more Oren Burks
Well, he's
or
going to win that spot, bro.
Flanagan Fowles or
Okay.
someone like that?
He's going to
Or
win that.
McCra-
He'll be a
Remember,
starter.
we got Marcelino McCrary Ball as well too, so watch out for that.
The
That
depth
would be a
is
good
there,
competition.
man. We got
so
depth.
my favorite pick of the draft was Braden Willis. He's a 7th rounder.
Oklahoma.
31 teams are going to pay. That's what he kept saying.
Look, I didn't even know about that. Once I started watching the tape, I was like, this guy really gets down. He gets dirty. He likes to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking to get out of bounds. He's looking lower his shoulder. And it seems like he's very Kittle-esque. Latu seems more like he's Kels. He's more of a Kels type. Which I'm perfectly fine with. If we got speed and hammer, you know what I'm saying? We can kill you
nothing
both
wrong with
ways.
that.
Exactly. And I was just thinking, like, imagine the formations we can have now. Imagine Kittle, Latu, and Willis out on the field, and then you have Debo, and then like Juwan Jennings or even maybe like a Bell. And then you line up as 5 wide, but you can go back into a running formation, bring one of the tight ends in as a fullback, use Debo as a running back, and now everybody, the defense came in to deal with the 5 wide, even though it's 3 tight ends, and now you have to protect against the run, do vice versa. You know what I mean? If you got CMC and Juice Check in there, and then you split them out 5 wide, now you've got mismatches. So I mean, like, this could be some crazy stuff we could be seeing. I don't know if these 2 tight ends are really going to shine this year, or at least early off. I'm guessing somewhere around mid-season we'll see one of them starting to shine and flash, I would say. But I'm really excited.
Well, who's
Could we
Bell?
see-
I heard you say the
go
name
ahead.
Bell.
Ronnie Bell.
Ronnie Bell from the
Michigan
The
wide
wide receiver.
receiver.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of ways you can essentially use the tight ends, take a whole nother position group out, and then use the other position group, whether it's the wide receivers or the running backs, and then make them perform the other role, which will totally screw with the defense. This guy comes in and he's talking a lot. This guy is.
Who is this guy?
He says Joey Fisher, offensive lineman, can say small arms, but he's mean. LOL,
Short
nasty,
arms.
throws folks
Short
around.
arms.
Yeah. But in the NFL, we'll see. But wouldn't be surprised if he beats out McKivitz. No, see, like people talk about long arms. Look, long arms are this and that. If somebody with short arms can knock your long arm away, your long arm has now been defeated.
And guess who his favorite player is?
Who's his favorite player?
Oh, he's been
McKivitz.
patterning his game after.
Yeah,
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams.
Trent
Oh.
Williams.
What a man. Yes, his 40 time, bro.
He's a man among boys. This guy's.
Wouldn't he be better
humongous.
suited at guard then? If he has short arms and he's fast and he can move downfield?
Yeah. Well, he's been playing
Now,
tackle, so hopefully he's a
benched
tackle.
40. He benched 40 reps. Now, the only thing, if you got shorter arms, it's going to be easier for you to bench. But that said, still, I don't know if
Should've
anybody else
started
put up
benching.
40 reps. You know
I
what
should
I'm
have
saying?
started benching. I got short arms for my height.
He's got short arms. Are you good at benching, Aaron?
No, I was a weak
Well, it's
link.
also-
I still am.
Shorter
Ryan, what's your
people-
max bench?
People, I don't know. I don't remember. I've never really
215,
worried about bench press.
215.
I have a
In the one time?
what do you get? Tyrannosaurus Rex type body. I have really long legs and a short torso, and I think I might have like 32-inch arms. It
Yeah.
I
just,
worked on my legs and I did legs and pretty much shoulder shrugs.
Calf raises.
that's what my brother did. My
calf
brother has
raises, but-
powerful legs, or did have powerful legs.
The shoulder
Yeah.
shrugs was for when I was wrestling people. And the calf raise will get you a couple inches, and then you shoulder shrug, that'll give you another inch, and then you've got them off their center of gravity, and you can flip them. It's real nasty.
My most for 225 was 12 reps, so it's not easy to put up 40 reps on a 225 bench press. Super hard.
And to me, maxing is great, but when I was a wrestler, so I was taught essentially, who cares if you could do it once? In a fight, you're going to have to do it multiple times. So
Yep.
learn how to rep it. And then, okay, if you can rep somebody's body weight multiple times, now you're talking about something that really means something.
You could literally keep body slamming somebody because you can
Exactly.
keep scooping them.
Exactly. So that's the way I always trained was I don't care if I
spongy
can do it
official.
once. I got to be able to do it 10 times.
Little Spongy's a good kid. He's a good guy.
Like the
Yep.
name.
Shout out to Lil Spongy. He's going to be having a segment on the Friday night show. He will be we're going to show him a picture of somebody from history, and he'll have to come up with their name and their occupation.
Oh my god.
And then we'll tell him what their real name and occupation was.
You put him on the spot, huh?
Oh, I think it'll be great.
I noticed we talked in this stream about the fact that some of us disagreed on the pick, but nobody got emotional.
Corey.
All the
movie.
emotions came out on draft days, if there were any emotions. Yeah, so
I was
I'm happy with what the
immediately
Niners
dumbfounded. Even though, like I said, we had talked, Bryant and I had already talked through it. I was immediately dumbfounded. You can check my live reaction. I got a video of it. But I just, afterwards, I was like, hey, it's over. It's done with. I realized, hey, it's all good.
A
I
lot
was
of us
happy
wanted
the way
them.
things went. Yeah.
I wanted them.
And then Saturday, when the Patriots moved up to get the kicker, you know what I mean? It seemed like it was just vindication. It was just,
And
How
they
mad
would
would a
you
fourth-
know they would have taken the kicker number 1 Moody if he would have been
Mhm.
on the board for the Patriots.
and I explained to everybody too, what I've been talking about. It's not that they normally people would move down with that pick with a pick to try and, find some way to get capital and, pick somebody later. That's showing your hand. Everybody's expecting the 49ers to try and make a move on Moody. And everybody knows for the most part that the 4th round is where you go and pick the top kickers at. That's the acceptable range. So for the 49ers to make a move down from 99, 101 or 102 or move up from 157 would have just been a telltale sign. And any team that was looking to go for a kicker, they would now, once the 49ers moved to a spot, they would now just figure out how to move to this top of spot in front of them and then take Moody. So staying where they were at and just taking him by surprise at 99 was probably the best move, I think, strategically to get him. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
And
Yeah.
how bad if everybody would have been if they would have gotten bypassed and somebody else took him? They would have said, we could have had him. And then it would have been a whole other discussion of
The same
the
people that are
49
mad about that pick would have said they should have taken him at 99.
Yeah,
And see,
can't
I
win.
thought with
Exactly.
how the 49ers would run things is that they were like, there's a lot of good kickers in the draft. You know what I mean? They weren't going to spend their wad to get one of them. They were going to, find a good one that, suited their spot essentially. And they proved me wrong. You know what I mean? They made sure to go out and get the best one. They weren't settling for nothing, which I'm actually happy that they they made a decision that they were like 100% on, instead of, like drafting Trey Lance and then, sitting him behind Jimmy G and then not having enough time to let him develop. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like finally with this pick, at least they knew exactly what they wanted. They weren't going to settle for anything less, and I was happy.
I'll say this: regardless of how good or great this guy can kick field goals or how strong his leg is, or where he was drafted, I'm not going to throw that out the window. But one thing that definitely right off the bat, this guy will help us on. He should help us on special teams with. It's just that he gets the ball in the end zone on kickoff, so we don't have to worry about people returning kicks on us. So,
oh, so annoying. Oh my God. You got a punter who has a dead leg, and then you have a kicker who never. Oh my goodness.
Wait, give Wisnowski more credit. Come on, man.
Yeah, I think some of it is his coverage team at times.
Yeah, the coverage team's pretty bad, but if you're not getting any hang time, that's another problem, right?
Well, yes, but the hang time could also come into play with what the special teams coach is asking you to do as far as a kick. You know what I mean? So if he's asking you to do some kind of kick that's going to make somebody, muff the ball, there might be a difference in just booting the ball and getting it up there, hella high, to get, hang time. It's probably more of make sure it's going a certain way the whole time so that when it falls, so there could be that to come. I'm not gonna go for his, I'm not gonna take his side though, 100%, but there could be things behind the scene that play towards it. Let's move on to the next topic. Kind of goes in line with what we were talking about already, but before that, I just want to thank everybody in the chat who's in here watching us tonight. Really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you go into the description, you will find links to all the other gentlemen's channels here, and you can go give them a like and a sub also.
And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to not just our channels, but Ryan's channel. Let's get Ryan up there.
Tell a friend to like a friend to sub a friend.
Yeah.
And what do you guys friends?
Right? How do you guys feel about going double dipping in tight end in this draft?
I like it because I'm not a Dwelly fan, and iron sharpens iron, more competition, and you got two guys. Now, I wasn't really that big on Cameron too. I was saying that there were better tight ends on the board, but the 49ers think that he's the guy that fits whatever they do. And when we made the pick, I was watching some of Grant Cohn's reviews. Grant Cohn thought he was the best tight end available at the time we picked. So we'll see about Cameron Latu and what he can do. But Braden Willis is just a completely different type of tight end. So you got two completely different type of guys to add to the depth and learn from Kittle and learn from my coaching staff. So let's see. I hope they both make the team. I hope they're both good enough to really show and prove and be better than the two other guys that we had backing up Kittle.
I would like to see them. I would like to see the depth like updated. So instead of having Kittle, Dwelly, and whoever the third guy is, I always forget his name.
Charlie Warner.
If it was those two guys in any particular order, a lot of people said, "Oh, there we got that's our Jordan Reed guy right there." The fact that he's tall and big, and and I'm like, I hope his ankles and feet and knees are better.
He was a beast before we had him, though.
Right. So yeah, I'm cool. I like the fact that you got guys that for instance, when Kittle came out and we drafted him, nobody was banging the table for him either. So, we have all this
Nobody knew who he
attention
was.
we have all this attention on Kittle and how great he is. So anybody you're going to put up against him, especially if it's either a fifth rounder or whatever, or a late round pick, of course they're not going to measure up. But you never know. You never know what people can do in an offense where you scheme guys open who eventually pretty much just have to catch the ball and run with it. We'll see. I'm happy that they addressed it. I wish it would, like I said, tackle was something that a lot of people wanted us to address, but it is what it is. You go based on your board, and the Niners felt stronger about the tight ends than they did the tackles, and so be it.
Yeah, I think the Niners are comfortable where they're at with the offensive line. I think they needed to get Dwally and Warner just haven't, especially Dwally, they haven't really worked out. They had a few years to try to get it together. I'm a big guy from Alabama. I love Alabama tight ends, and this guy Latu is going to be. I think he's going to be great. But the kid from Oklahoma, I hope he makes it. He's a 7th round tight end. He's going to have to work his butt off to try to make this team. But I think you got 2 different types of tight ends. The guy from Oklahoma, he's a very good blocker, great blocker, can catch, and that's why earlier Ryan said he's more like a Kittle in a sense of able to block and catch. But then you have Cameron Latu, that he's more like a Kelsey. He has exceptional hands, but the only thing I don't like about him is he can't break off defenders, and he's going to have to work on that. But if you want to throw it up in the air and have somebody catch it in the end zone, he's the guy.
It's going to be nasty.
He can high point, as they say. Hey, Beto, is it cold where you live? Because I know it's gotten colder over here in Roseville.
It's freezing here today.
It's cold. It's colder over here, but not freezing. But it was weird because it was like 98 degrees the other day, and now this whole week and the next week we're gonna get cold weather. So.
No, my wife loves to have the windows open during the day. Like she just likes to, what she likes to call air out the house. And
you get all the farty, stinky air out. That's how you do it.
We both took a nap and we fell asleep, and that we didn't close the windows sooner than we wanted to. It got cold.
Well, what's up to Jeff in the chat, man? The guy who's dropping all those raps. He's dropped that Stephen Curry rap. Curry went for 50 points the other day in Game 7.
That's because everybody else on the team sucks.
Oh my gosh! It's on Tuesday, Beto.
So, what other position group would you have drafted 2 players of in the draft? I'm guessing barring tackle. Let's just go barring tackle. All right.
Defensive end.
Okay.
And a lot of my max, I was stacking defensive mocks, not max. I was stacking defensive ends. The old cliche, you can never have enough pass rushers. Mm-hmm. We did get one though, but whatever. I mean, we may sign one. We got one who's got a lot of potential. He's a sleeper type. So the thing I like about this more than anything else, and maybe even feel better about this pick, was seeing Koseric's face and hearing his voice on that video when he was on the phone with Robert Beal Jr. And he was so excited. And Koseric himself noted that Robert Beal Jr. from Georgia, 4.49 40 and all that, he was kind of lost in the shuffle with all the good players, and Nolan Smith was there taking the first round by the Eagles. But I was hearing at times Georgia Robert Beal Jr. shined more than Nolan Smith at times. Koseric said that this guy had the highest GTFO rating in the whole draft. And that's his get the fuck off the line of scrimmage or something type rating, where remember how D Ford
get the fuck off the ball.
Yeah, D Ford had that amazing quick first step. So I guess this guy has a similar type first step. I'm really happy about that. One more thing, back to people talking on the phone. When Jair Brown was on the phone with Wilkes, our defensive coordinator, you guys got to catch that video because they just had this bond and this connection talking on the phone that made me feel so good about Wilkes and Jair Brown. So I'm really excited about how this defense is going to look.
And Jair Brown also mentioned that in an interview with the lady from the 49ers of how, once we were in the room together, it felt, like I think he said family.
Yeah, they have a strong connection.
Yes. So to me, that's exactly what I want. You know what I mean? I want, hopefully that doesn't come to burn us when Wilkes moves off of being a defensive coordinator for us and goes and be a head coach somewhere. But until then, hell yeah, I want that kind of connection with the guy we just drafted. And shout out to Wilkes, because John Lynch said he plugged and played really well with everybody and going on. And they also said that this draft was the most like immersive draft that they had done, like as far as collaborating with the coaches and the scouts. And he seemed to think that he's like, this was probably our best draft. So, and with the guys that they got out of there for the picks that they have, I'm pretty confident we got some guys who will play and start years down the road.
And really quick about Wilkes and the DBs. We drafted Daryl Luter Jr. I'm not really too familiar with. A lot of people I know are high on him, but we picked up this guy who I was watching a lot of film of as of late as an undrafted free agent. Look him up from from Tennessee Volunteers, I believe. No, was he from Texas? Why am I getting those two schools confused? One of the T schools. So it's Deshaun Stevenson. Sorry, Deshaun Jameson. Deshaun Jameson. This guy's a cornerback, about 5'9", blazing speed. He's a cornerback who can make all types of plays and jumps routes, but he's also an excellent kick returner that just blows by as everybody. He's actually from Texas Longhorns. So maybe Wilkes had his eye on this guy too. So I'm excited about Wilkes just putting his fingerprints all over these DBs that we're drafting.
You shout out. Thanks for popping in. Are you half tonguing in Samoan? What is it? You go like this, right? I worked with some Samoan ladies, and I always kept on doing, because she's a Seahawks fan. I kept doing the Tongan, and for Hufanga and Hufanga, sorry, and she would always do her. And I was like, why aren't you a 49ers fan? She's like, because the Seahawks had a lot of Samoans. I was like, what are you talking about? We had Jesse Sapolo. She's like, huh, who's that? She goes back and she's like, oh, she starts looking in. I was like, yeah, he's one of our best ever. Like he's like one of our most loved linemen ever. Like, you say that.
You have like the wrestler Rikishi and his sons and Sapolo. They're all 49er fans.
They're all 49er fans, yeah. All those wrestlers that I grew up with, they all grew up in the Bay Area. They're all related to The Rock. Most of them are Niner fans. And they're all Usos, as Usos means brother in Samoan.
Yeah,
or Us for short. Yeah.
Well, they're all sons of Rikishi or whatever his name was, Fatu or what.
Rikishi's sons of the Uso tag team.
I think Roman Reigns, whatever his real name is, Joe or something. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. That it is a culture thing, dude. Did you see the representation in Mexico when they made the pick, man?
Oh yeah,
Mexican people love 49ers. That's awesome.
Well, we played there. They had a huge turnout there. Yeah,
and we appreciate every single one of you.
Hell yeah! I don't care who you are. You be green for all I care,
man. This guy brings up something I wanted to talk about.
This guy over here.
I can't. This guy over here. Laybourne, Mr. Laybourne, Callan.
I have something wrong with my labrum. Oh, sorry, Laybourne.
UDFA out of Marshall may surprise folks as well. I've seen people talk a lot about it. I looked into him a little bit. He didn't really jump off the page to me. But that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he didn't seem as fast on tape as other people. I liked Ronald Atwatt.
His nose looks so red.
I haven't watched.
He popped around. Yet. That Ronald guy looks like a CMC almost. Like how he jumps from doop 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 doop. Like, and he's really good at. So I'm excited for Atwatt, but I don't know. I'm hoping. Look. I love
Laybourne. I'll tell you about him. Yeah, so a lot of Niner fans wanted to rekindle that whole Raheem Mostert type runner, and I was one of them because there were about three or four guys in the draft that we could have gotten, and they were all available in the lower rounds. So like, let's get this guy. No, the other team got him, and it was that over and over again. It was a huge cycle of that. This running back is different. Kalen Laybourne from Marshall. He was actually at Florida State, played there for a little bit, and left because Florida State kept firing their coaches. Went to Marshall where Randy Moss played at one point. And he's a bell cow. He's not your blazing speed home run hitter running back, but he can carry the rock like 30 times. He's got pretty good straight ahead speed. He could turn the corner, but he's not going to give you the home run. But he does make people miss, and he's got power.
He reminded me of like a Jordan Mason toned down.
Very similar to Mason and TDP. Yeah,
that's what I was noticing.
He might be better than both of them. You never know. I mean.
Did you guys look into the Superman Spencer Waggage?
Superman the hoe.
WAEGE. Did you guys look into him out of
I
South.
haven't even looked into a lot of the UFTAs. I wanted to answer something that you were asking about the
go
two
ahead.
picks. Okay, so in the draft, the farther you get in the draft, you start to look for guys with traits, right? And we're talking about how Beal could possibly, maybe, become the D4 type guy. You're like the earlier you are in the draft, the closer you are to the beginning of the draft. You want guys that possess. Thank you. They possess everything, right? But as you get farther along, you're like, okay, I'm looking for a trait. This guy has a trait, and he has the D4 explosion off the end. To me, if they hit on this pick, they could take a flyer this year and sign an edge rusher to a 1-year deal, like maybe a Ngakwe or somebody like that, and then have that guy kind of develop behind the scenes. So that's the one guy that I want to see become something, is that Larry Beal guy. Because if he becomes the edge rusher that we need off the other side with
Larry Beal, that's a sportscaster.
Thank you. But besides what we have inside, it would be interesting. I just wanted to say that I'm a huge fan of his. I hope he turns out. What's up with the prescription glasses all of a sudden?
Terminator. They're not prescription. They're my dark shades. Don't you have a pair?
They're lost somewhere. I think they're on my windowsill in my bedroom.
Are we going to bring that back on Mondays where we all wear the shades when we're all pissed off after a loss?
We got to do something where we all either got to get the T-shirt that I created, or I'll get a green screen and put up an NWO background, kind of like like or we can get a throw rug made like the people the Breezy's crew, where they have their thing going on in the background. We gotta do something.
We'll figure something out. We can do something.
It's the off season. Nobody cares. Something like that.
For sure.
What up, Amelia? Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. And if you haven't, check the description. You can subscribe to all these wonderful channels. Everybody on the panel here.
Beto's all out of Kool-Aid.
It's lemon water.
So getting back, have you guys looked into Spencer, the Superman Waggy?
Tell us about him, because I saw his name, but I didn't watch his videos.
He's got a hell of a motor. He just can't stop. They call him Superman. He just wrecks people. He's been obviously playing with NDSU, so it's not against like the biggest, schools and whatnot. So there might be a learning curve, but he seems like a guy. He reminded me a lot of like a young cowboy,
Justin Smith.
Yeah, he seems like he's got that same. He's just ornery. He's ornery. He never quits. He's just a beast, and I can't wait to see when he gets his NFL body.
I mean, I saw that we picked up a guy from North Dakota State where Trey Lance played, and I was curious about him. I saw one or two short little videos, but I didn't dive deep into what he's about. But
there was one on Twitter where he was just causing havoc left and right. It was like a mashup to the point where you can't really see where he started and how he did things. You just see, havoc being made. And I was like, okay, that's a good guy.
And speaking of the same school, North Dakota State, there was a tackle that I wanted us to get, but we didn't get him. Cody Mock, who seems like he's got a pretty bright future. I forgot where he went, but I want to say this. Remember when Trey Lance was coming up, people were telling me I didn't know shit about football, talking all kinds of dumb shit to me, saying Division I AA players, well, they'd call it Division II, but it's actually Division I A. They said anybody who comes from a school like North Dakota State's going to be garbage in the NFL because they play against shitty competition, and you don't know what you're talking about. Trey Lance is going to suck. And I was saying, let's draft Christian Watson. Oh, you're stupid. Christian Watson's going to suck. And they're saying all these players are going to suck, but why are all these players from North Dakota State getting drafted? Or even we signed one as an undrafted free agent. These guys got a future, man. That school's a powerhouse.
Not playing against better competition can hurt, kinda. But at the same time, as long as you're listening to coaches, you're improving your game, and your coaches are worth half a damn, you can do something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like in the realm that you can go to the NFL and be a good player or even a Hall of Fame player from a smaller school. It's just you're going to have to prove to everybody that you can. It's going to be a longer, harder road. You know what I mean? It just is, because you don't have the clout from the other bigger schools and all the bigger names. It's just how it is, but it can be done. And there's people out there who relish doing it that way because they were never afforded anything. And when they get to the top of that mountain, they know they built it. You know what I'm saying? Or the top of that building, they built it brick by brick. So it is what it is. Like, you should never count anybody out.
There's
Like,
talent all over the place.
Exactly. Did anybody look at what is this name? What is it?
One of the
Manning.
UDFAs?
Yeah, he's a UDFA. He's out of Hawaii.
I heard of him. I didn't really look him up though.
Elam
Yeah.
or Ilum. It's ILM Manning.
Yeah, I saw his name.
Yeah.
The name that stuck out the
So
most.
many UDFAs.
The name that stuck out the most was that we drafted that wide receiver Jadakiss. If you remember that rapper Jadakiss.
Yes, Jadakiss
Jadakiss
Bonds.
Bonds. Yeah,
Jadakiss from the Locks.
I watched a little bit of his videos when I was doing the mock drafts because his name kept popping up. But
yeah,
I need to study him more to give you guys a rundown though.
That was we weren't able to draft Boogie Nights, so they picked up Jadakiss Bonds on a.
Who's Boogie Nights?
Boogie Nights was a player in the draft.
Oh, that's right. That's right. His real name is Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, yes. So we couldn't pick up Boogie Nights, so they just settled with Jadakiss Bonds.
There was Wanye Morris that was named after the dude from Boys to Men, but just spelled different. Yeah, I knew I was right.
Beto,
you were right.
Undrafted free agents that jumped out to you that you looked at?
I haven't really paid attention to any of them. I know there's that running back that I like. He's I can't think of his name, but no, I haven't really paid attention. Awad, I think his name. He's like a Nigerian or but no, I haven't really really give a good comment on that. I just know about Joey because everybody's been raving him on Twitter, so I looked him up. But
yeah,
I've been actually for 3 days of doing live for the draft, bro. I just kind of got off of the internet for a minute and just relax.
I can't understand how, and no offense to anybody who does it, this is not a crack on anybody. I can't do 5, 6, 7, 10 hours sitting on my ass on a computer.
Bro.
Watching it. I love football. I love the Niners. 2 hours tops.
Maybe
if we won a Super Bowl, we could do a 3-hour stream and I'm straight edge, but I would drink. I would actually drink on the stream and you guys would be like, oh my God, Aaron is all, because then I start getting weird and I'm actually brave with women when I get liquor in me, which is kind of weird. But
watch out, ladies.
Watch out, ladies.
Laura.
What was the name of that TV show where the guy didn't talk until he drank? And then he would start talking to girls.
I'm not creepy. I'm way like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? You know?
I haven't stopped since the draft, bro. Like, I did day 1, I did day 2, we did a recap like later, so that was a big long streaming day. Then woke up, did day 3, then we went to Bryant Culp's channel. Shout out Bryant Culp, did an hour or 2 over there.
Yeah, that was some fiery content you had over there. Wee-hee.
Did a trivia show Sunday night, and I've
Ryan's
been putting
online.
out
Ryan, you are
shorts
on
a
it, dude.
day.
Yeah, it's hard to do when you have not that you don't have a family, but a family, man. You got to kind of balance out the internet and the wife and the kids. Yeah, it's
when I go back to work in a couple of weeks, you will definitely see a lot less of me.
Yep.
Just because I'm going to be so tired.
And there will be
football
a time
season.
where...
It's a different story. You have that motivation. But Batch is right. When the Niners are doing bad, it's actually better content because you get to get emotional. When they're winning 6, 8, 10, 12 games in a row, it's like, hey, the Niners won. Woo!
Happy go lucky.
Right. Did you guys hear that?
What?
That was Twitter clapping when they heard Aaron say that you're not going to see too much of him because he'll be working.
Oh, Twitter! I bet. You know what? I've been doing that on purpose. I've been doing that on purpose. Ryan told me to go with it. He's like, just keep doing it. Who cares what anybody thinks?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all about. I'm not, like I said on Twitter. I'm not about burning bridges. I'm about blowing them up when I'm still on them.
Really quick, there is an undrafted free agent that's out there that maybe you guys might want to talk about. Jack Coletto, Oregon State University, 6'3", 240.
Linebacker, fullbacker.
Yeah. And he's almost like a fullback who you can almost play at tight end from time to time. They even ran him in Wildcat situations. So a lot of people are liking this guy. So I'm curious to see what he can do in a Niner uniform.
Who's the guy that the Niners, is it an undrafted free agent? Maybe you're talking about the same guy who they said could eventually be the replacement. Or was it the Braden Willis guy who could be the replacement to Kyle Juszczyk?
They were saying it for both at times, but I still see Braden Willis being our tight end.
Yeah, tight end. I see him being able to replace Kittle maybe. It seems like he's more apt to take over the run blocking aspects and still be able to help out in the passing game as a Kittle would. Not to say that, it's a 1-for-1 Kittle. I'm just saying like somebody who could block somebody but still be deadly in the passing game. I think that's Braden Willis. I think Cameron Latu is more of a Kels, and I think if one of the tight ends split out, it'll be him. He'll be like, imagine 3rd and 1, okay, and he's split out in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about you getting off the field on 3rd and 1 defense. Sorry,
Jawan Jennings, you're getting replaced by Cameron Latu.
Well, at certain times you're going to have Jawan Jennings, but at sometimes you're going to just go out and go, hey, try beat this slant, buddy. Or if they go to beat the slant, well, now there's something over here that you're negating because you're protecting this. So we'll see how it all plays. But I see him in the slot every once in a while to really create mismatches and get us some.
Yep. There's
some
zone beaters, there's man beaters, and you have certain packages with certain guys who do just that. It's funny, Jawan Jennings does really nothing else but catch crucial 3rd down catches. How often last year did we see Jawan Jennings get like a 3rd and 2 and turn it upfield? He can't escape from anybody worth a lick, right? But he'll break some tackles. He can't. He's slow as molasses. There's a reason why he fell. If that man had speed, he would be like a T.O. type. Because T.O. wasn't like a track star, but he had, like when he was in the open field,
he was explosive.
Goodbye. It's just like Jerry Rice. Goodbye. You're not catching him. Neither of them had killer track speed. But listen, I was a Jerry Rice guy for years, but I'm not going to lie to you. There was something great when him, and I know J.J. Stokes was kind of doo-doo cheese. He wasn't that great. But like I'm a fan of big receivers. I like guys that can catch the ball, possess the ball, take a slant 80 yards, So yeah, hopefully maybe one of those guys turns into that.
I think you need to have variety in your wide receiver core. You need to have a big guy who can catch a slant on a short, on a short down play. You need a guy who can just streak down the field, and you need a guy who can break somebody down. You know what I mean? And that's
Cold David McNiner. Yeah.
I wanted to add this. Remember we were going back and forth messaging each other, Ryan, and this is one of the UDFAs that we got. I didn't really watch him, but some people were telling me they think he's good. I think you told me you liked him with Shea Wyatt out of Tulane, 6'1", 190 pounds, wide receiver.
I did not look into him yet.
Oh, okay.
Look into him yet. There's also we also picked up a guy named Corey Luciano.
Luciano, I hear is pretty good. The center. Tony,
he's got an Italian last name, so I automatically like him.
Tony from Nothing But Niners was telling John V that he was really stoked about this guy from Washington.
He's like a bada bing guy. How you doing?
Yeah. 6'4", 291. So we'll see if he's going to be able to compete and try to make the roster.
Well, if he doesn't make center, he can also compete for guard. So that's what I'm excited for. Is now we've got either backups that might be a little more dependable. I think it seems like we. I don't know.
Niners
seems like we did a lot this year as far as drafting good or better. Like Pryor and Feliciano, I think are swing. They're swing guys, but I think Pryor could compete for the starting right tackle position.
You mentioned that one guy from Hawaii, the offensive lineman that we signed as an undrafted free agent, Ilan Manning. So little rundown on him that I pulled up. 6'4", 295, undersized left tackle in college, but he's projected to be either a guard or tackle with his athleticism in the NFL. So we'll see what he does. Maybe he's probably a practice squad guy for all we know.
He could be somebody we could move into guard later on. Because at 6'4", 295, at this moment, I think he's a guard in our scheme.
Just remember, guys, can't keep everybody. Not everybody's going to make the team.
No, and I don't. From his tape, I didn't think he had the biggest chance. But who knows?
What's exciting about this time of year is everything is a possibility between the draft picks and the undrafted guys. And then
It's-
eventually the truth sets in once the OTAs and training camp start. You're like, wow, that guy really sucks.
Once you get the guys in the room and the coaches get their hands on them and the
Yeah.
scheme is applied
Yeah.
to the players,
And you see if
That's
people
when you-
can take it
Yep.
in and then put it on the field. Because it's one
Because
thing you have to be
sometimes
able
players
to
aren't
learn
bust.
it. Yeah.
They
Even
just don't fit the
quarterbacks, high
scheme.
level. Look at Keely Smith and those guys. They couldn't digest a playbook. They were like football stupid, athletic all to hell. You know what I mean? Huge arm, mobile, all that stuff. But between the ears, there was nothing going on.
What up, Eric?
What up, Eric?
Oh, we got Joey Niner in here. Oh, what up, Joey? Sorry, I didn't
What's
see you
up,
come
Joe
in.
E?
Hey, Joey, how
You
you
must be
doing?
happy about Moody and Ronnie Bell. They're both from
Eh.
Michigan.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys right now. We win a Super Bowl, and Moody's, and it's like within the next couple years, I will buy a Moody jersey.
Beto brought this up, and a lot of people have brought it up in general. The last time we did draft a kicker in third round, we won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Doug Bryan out of Cal.
Doug Bryan.
He played what two seasons for us, and that was it.
He played. He replaced what's his name that always missed a ton of extra
Kofor?
points all the time. Kofor, yeah.
Mike Kofor, yeah.
Kofor was like either on or horribly inaccurate.
Kofor just had that face that just would make me cringe. Where
I
he
wanted
always
to
looked
punch
like
him in
he was
his mouth because he always looked like he was
about to
scared.
cry. He always looks like he
Yeah,
was
like,
scared about to
Oh my
cry.
God! Everybody else on the team kicks ass, and I have one job and I can't do it right.
Yeah, I guess that's what happened when he played to Montana and Rice.
Okay, real quick. I want to go around. I want to get everybody's grades. So so far, without obviously putting pen to paper and actually figuring out what we got in these guys, with the draft capital the 49ers had in this draft, how do you think they did? I'll start with you, Aaron.
B-. The only reason I'm going B- is because they didn't address tackle. Now I know, like they said in the press conference, like they're not going to take somebody just for the sake of taking them. To say, hey, we drafted an offensive tackle. He sucks, but hey, we got one. That would be the only thing, because it is an issue. But the rest of the draft, you look at these players, and like the Niners don't have a ton of holes. So like everything they drafted to me projects either next year or the year after as guys move on, players leave. Like the Niners, if they hit on this draft, and we won't know for a couple of years. That's why a lot of people are like, I'm giving the grade of a F to the Niners for whatever reason. It's like we haven't seen anybody play. Just based on how their track record's been the last couple of years, and the influence of the coach that came from Carolina to be our defensive coordinator, I feel
Steve
like his, but between his influence and just the players that we got in the draft, a lot of good defensive players. And the fact that we had the balls to go out and draft a kicker and stick it in everybody's face. Yeah, B- all the way. If they would have drafted an offensive tackle within like the first 3 rounds, or did something where they took a 2024 pick and maybe jumped up into the back or middle part of the second, probably would have got an A- out of it. But B- for me.
Bashar, let me get your input.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it B- too. I'm gonna go a little different with it. I mean, now if Dwan Jones ends up being a Pro Bowl tackle, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to be a crybaby about it, but it's gonna be in the back of my head, kind of pissing me off. But whatever, we didn't get him. At least we got Joey Fisher as an undrafted guy. He's a possible 3rd round talent. So hopefully he pans out. That'll be good. Now, how do we stack them? How we gotten like another big name pass rusher or a tackle earlier? I'll give this draft an A easily, but we didn't. So B- for now, and who knows? I mean, the one thing I do love obviously is Jair Brown and D Winters, who was was a sleeper guy that I really liked. That's 2 guys that we can swarm on blitzes. And now we to add with Hufanga, who could already swarm on blitzes, and Warner, our defense is going to have a really, really nice edge to it. I love it.
Jair seems just as has just as much instinct as Hufanga, and that's kind of interesting.
Are you guys bothered that they're the same type of player that neither maybe possesses top end speed?
Not necessarily.
Doesn't bother me. The talent is what I go for.
All right.
So Corey Davis wanted to know, he wanted to let everybody know he had alligator meat yesterday, and
I've
it
heard
was
it like
good.
tastes just
And he
like
wanted
chicken.
to know if you all have ever had it.
No, and I don't plan on.
I did one time at Guy Fieri owns a restaurant which is pretty mediocre. It's called Johnny Garlic's. If you guys are in the Bay Area, maybe you may have tried it once. But they, on the menu they had like these deep fried alligator nuggets or whatever. It's kind of like a popcorn chicken with original alligator. It was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. It was just all right, you know. But
Guy Fieri.
Hmm.
He's all about. What do I say? He's all about
Aaron loves him.
cultural. What do they call?
Cultural appropriation.
He's all about cultural appropriation. I'm more Italian than he is.
Guy Fieri here. Here at
He's
Triple
like
D, we do things
he's
a little
like
different.
fourth generation Italian, and he talks like he's from the boot.
Wow.
Get out of here! Sorry, that
It's
makes
just
me mad.
Sicilian over here.
Bryant is bringing up old CBS Sports posts from, oh no, was that
October 13th, 2005.
that's
Bryant's
like,
all over this kicker stuff, by the way, dude.
He is. He I know why he is, and I love it.
it's like 17 years ago, Bryant. What? How is
Bears
this?
release kicker Doug Bryant on Thursday and
I
replaced him
guess,
with
I guess the Mexican doesn't get to answer his grade, huh?
Oh,
No, we are.
No. Don't give it bullshit.
he looks
Well, no,
good.
me.
Now you
stop
can't.
getting all your feelings.
Now
Stop
you
it.
can't.
I'm gonna say this: don't talk kickers.
No, I'm not saying.
What are you, me?
Yep.
What are you, sensitive or something?
No,
If
he's,
you're gonna-
he's being me. He's being
if-
me.
If you're gonna debate,
No, you just
kicking,
pout and you just pout and turn your camera off like a little girl.
No. I don't turn my camera off for that.
Oh shit!
It's
I
for,
just heard that.
It's for it's to stop the stream from lagging. That's the only reason why I turn my camera off.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you're gonna debate kicking game with Bryant, do not bring in math equations. Just gotta say that.
Oh, he's taking shots at the 2 + 2 = fish, Bryant. Bashar. Or sorry, not Bashar. Beto. What's your grade?
I'll let you know in 3 years.
Okay. All right, with that,
I want to hear
think we're-
Beto.
in 3 years, bro. It's all good. He's gonna set the stream up right now after the show, and we'll just hit the notification button.
2 + 2 = fish.
Yes.
That just reminds me of some smelly fish for some reason. I don't know why.
It was some stand-up comic.
Hold on, let me pull a Ryan.
Yeah.
God damn it, son of a bitch!
You
Oh,
gotta
my bad.
mute your mic if you're really
Oh,
gonna do a
shit.
full Riot. You gotta mute your mic at the same time.
Flip
Jesus.
everybody off when the camera's off.
No, not at all. See, and he wasn't doing anything bad there. He was just, he was sneezing. He didn't want anybody to see anything fly out his nose.
Sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? What is that thing? Does anybody know where that comes
You
from?
guys
That
are
guy?
just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, that's right. Just remember, 2 + 2 = fish.
Yeah,
Who said that?
fish. There was I'm telling you, it was a stand-up comic.
Timestamps.
If you
So,
want,
I know who said that. Yeah,
I put the
remember.
timestamps on Ryan's video, the day 2
Yeah,
recap
yeah. I remember.
Late night
who- yeah,
recap.
I know
Yeah.
who said it. Yeah.
on No Border Sports. Check it
I
out.
know it sounded familiar, but I forgot. Like, yeah, I know. I know
Guys.
exactly when.
no, but there was I guess at
Do
in
they
that
really
show,
say
I
that?
was taught where it came from. Yes, that it
Okay.
comes from some stand-up comedian who used to say that, and that's why that's where the term comes from.
Hey,
But-
for the record, I tried to Google what comedian said that and I couldn't find it.
oh wow,
And real quick, who got mad at CJ? I would love to know who.
Everybody.
Everybody.
anybody came in their chat and promoted his.
CJ.
Yeah, can I do a public
suck.
service statement, please?
There you go.
Can
Here
we all
go.
say together, CJ, you suck?
Make Aaron
You
the
heard it from
main
me first.
Do not, if you have a channel, go into another person's stream who is streaming
Tell
and
him,
promote
Aaron.
your channel. Don't do
Yes.
that. That looks bad. And
Don't
don't
be a
poach
puto.
guests and don't
Don't
poach
be a
viewers.
puto.
There's
Just-
something I can't stand is people that promote like that. Don't do that.
Just go in and tell people to like and sub
No, I
Who
want to
I'm
hear
having
something
on my
bad.
channel.
I
I'm
want you to say
interviewing
something
Jesus Christ.
negative about him, Ryan.
Oh, I'm
Huh?
sorry. Can I
Come on,
address
Ray.
the?
Hold on, Baluch. I want you to say something negative about him, Ryan. Come on, and Baluch. Yeah, I
I-
did it again. Sorry,
Oh my!
I screwed up. I caught
I've
myself.
said everything to him personally.
Sorry.
Well,
Baba
Yeah,
Booey.
I
I'm
don't
working
like
on
that.
it, bro.
Baba
My
Booey.
apologies.
It just annoys me when people do
I don't know
that
why.
type of stuff
I don't know
too.
why it comes out, bro.
Makes
I
me
want to
so
touch on
angry.
something before we go. Something 49er wise. I'm sure we can talk an extra
Okay.
2 minutes about this. Trey Lance did not get traded, and neither did Brandon Ayuk. So just throwing it out there.
Ooh.
Well, we still have them tomorrow.
It was supposed to happen because Larry called it out. He said it was going to happen.
He had his
Yeah.
crystal ball.
I seen that clip where he was addressing the Trey Lance hate, and he was like, how could you hate on Trey Lance? And it's like, I don't know, Larry. Seems like everything you said was spurred on by him not being good, which
And then when he
equates to hate. You know what I'm
he
saying?
went on to go to "Do you know who I am?" card. The old "Do you know who I am?" card. Like I'm. If there's any way to me to lose respect for somebody fast is when they start talking about everything they've accomplished.
Right.
Like no shit.
Or promote your
And-
channel, somebody else's channel.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes me angry. I'm gonna keep it PG here. I get
Come
angry.
on,
Do it,
bro.
Aaron.
Come on.
So
Do it,
before
Aaron.
we get out of here, how about everybody plug what they got going this week? Aaron, do you want to go first?
Yes. Well, there's tonight, of course, the NWO. We do this
We
every
hear.
Monday. Next week we will be on Beto's channel, and then the week after we'll be back on mine. Don't know if there'll be anything to talk about. Maybe schedule release by the time we're back on my channel. I don't know. Anywho, there's that. Tomorrow at 10 p.m. there's supposed to be a show with me and Raj on my channel this week. I don't know if he's feeling well or if he's taking a break from YouTube. I don't know exactly what's going on right now, but
He said something about his throat.
yeah, he did a live stream reaction to something and he's coughing up a storm. So if that's the case, you will see that. And then on Wednesday, of course, me and Ted Talks Ball on my channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Be there, be square. I'm working on a couple things with Jason Hurley, John Chapman, and we'll see who else. But right now, those are my two other streams after tonight. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What is that?
It's Beto. Bashar, what you got going on your channel?
Nothing set in stone for this week, but as far as what we're going to be doing, I'm going to have a few people on just to recap the draft. Whoever they are, we'll find out. Gonna do some Warriors Lakers stuff, hopefully tomorrow before the game. So it's gonna be a lot of Warriors heavy Lakers stuff going on this week. Whenever I do it, I'm not sure. Again, I got to talk to Lawrence. We're gonna try to get that wrestling show started again for episode 2. It's called From Parts Unknown. So there's a lot of fun stuff and always good to go. I'm always going on other people's channels. It's gonna be on TED Talks channel probably again on Friday. And we're going to be doing a Friday 3 o'clock PM show Pacific time. So no name for you unless you guys could come up with a name.
For what show?
Attention, please. Clean up on aisle 3, please. Clean up on aisle 3. CJ took a big ass shit on aisle 3.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to get hate mail.
Hey, get to stepping.
Beto,
Yes, sir.
what's your thoughts? Or what you got going on this week? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, threw me
Corey-
off. I'm like, what
Corey
was the
Davis,
question?
look what he just put in the chat. That's funny. Man, I was just about
man,
that.
I was
What up,
just about
Corey?
to-
Shout out. We'll advertise your channel.
Yeah,
Make
you're
sure
an
you go
exception, bro.
Tommy
You-
Huxley's
yeah,
here.
you're an
Make sure you
exception,
go
bro.
out
Tommy
to Corey
Huxley.
Lockdown Davis. Corey Lockdown
We love you,
Davis's
Tommy.
channel. Give him a subscription. He does trivia on Thursday nights. He does have a couple weeks hiatus. He will be back in 2 Thursdays. So go follow him and check him out. Beto, what you got going?
Yeah. Let's see here. Tomorrow we have Niners and Friends on Mariah's channel, myself and Ryan. And Wednesday, nothing. Thursday we have the 49ers Podcast Network hookup. And then on Saturday, I do my trivia / games and at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. So you can come and check me out and support the channel. Would appreciate it.
Yeah. And you all know me. You're on the channel here. If you don't know, tomorrow, like Beto said, I've got a show with him and Mariah. I believe it's on Mariah's channel.
Yes.
Yep. So we'll be there. Wednesday, I have the rivalry with Joe Stevens, my Seahawks buddy. Thursday may or may not have a show with Raj. Same issue as Aaron was talking about. And Friday, I'll have my Friday night show. It's going to be switching into a variety show. So it's going to be it's going to be a little crazier. It's going to be some things going on. We do have a sponsor. We have a sponsor. So make sure you tune in.
Now.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you all about it afterwards.
Real quick, Ryan, before I forget, Brandon, for Forever Faithful podcast is doing a show tomorrow, Lakers and basketball related. But if you're a Laker or a Warrior fan, or just love football, I believe he's going to do something around 6.
Yeah, I'll be on it.
Yeah. So,
is he going to be doing it from his car?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
He better
Probably.
talk. He better talk.
If he's not doing it from his car, I'm not watching.
No, I know. We like to see that mobile action.
And if he's not picking up food or going to the convenience store, I don't want to watch his stream.
Or you getting yelled at by his girlfriend?
Hey,
Imaginary
I haven't seen
girlfriend.
that one yet.
Hey, you know what's funny? You say that. There was when I first started doing live streams, I had a guy, Bash knows who I'm talking about. He said he was going to help me become really big on YouTube. I had this man on like 3 times, and every single time I had him on, he either had a dying cell phone. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
He either had a dying cell phone or he'd be watching television while we're streaming like this and come back in and just talk randomly. Then there was one time he was in a park outside his car standing with like birds flying overhead and all this noise. And I'm just like, yeah, like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, you're going to help? What are you going to promote? Like reckless driving, doing YouTube videos? Like it was bad. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, the fun times of being a content creator.
Good times.
But with that, I want to thank everybody who showed out tonight. Thank everybody in the chat. Appreciate you all for showing up, hitting that like button. You know,
Aaron, I think 49er asked you a question.
I'm not.
How's your
I didn't ask
laptop?
a question.
Oh,
Oh,
Laura
sorry.
asked how my new laptop is going.
Thinks we're the same person, apparently. So.
Good.
I
Real
do
good.
like
It's
to fool around.
it's a Dell. It's like a gaming laptop. So it's capable of running a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to use it for gaming. So it runs the YouTube thing just fine. All my USB ports work. Woohoo!
Yay! Yeah. You gotta love Jeff's comments in the chats, by the way. I love the way Jeff says Steph Curry, by the way.
Thanks for
Beto,
asking,
you want to take us
Laura.
out?
Yeah. Hey, guys, thank you for tuning in to the NWO. Great show tonight. Make sure to follow each of our channels as we do rotate channels. I'll be on my channel next week.
And if you
So
don't,
make
we're
sure
going
to
to call you
follow
out.
us. I'm sorry?
I said, if you don't, we're going to call you out.
Exactly. So
Make sure to follow us on each and every channels. And if you don't, I'm going to send that big looking Italian stallion over there with a white shirt and a white hat. And he's going to kick your ass. So make
That's
sure
right.
to follow us. But we
But now we're-
appreciate you guys.
we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Continue to stay faithful. Until next time, we are
Bye,
out of here.
everybody.
NWO.
Peace.